Island
Popping
style.
on your TV.
And now, urban and island style.
It's time for Urban and Island Style.
Island style.
Urban and Island
Urban
Style.
and island style.
Get ready. Anti-time.
Island style. Urban and island style. Island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style. Popping on the TV, urban island style. Boy, la 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 da.
Anti-time.
Boy, la 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 da. Popping on your TV, urban island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style. Popping on your TV, urban island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style. Urban and island style. Urban island style. Urban and island style.
Urban and Island Style.
Aloha, welcome back to another episode of Urban and Island Style. I'm your host, Auntie Taz. In the studio today, we have Chef Ivory White from West Covina, California. If you're wondering if she knows Josh from Crazy Ex-Girlfriends, she does not. She is a private chef who caters to anyone who is hungry on Maui. From cruise line crew member to creative menu connoisseur, Chef Ivory brings a southern swag to the island palate. You can find her in the private kitchens of some of the most luxurious vacation rental condos in Wailea, Kapalua, Ka'anapali, and Spreckelsville, or at some of the most prestigious corporate events hosted on and off island. She is here today to make us an urban and island style Loco Moco dish. Please welcome Chef Ivory to the show. Yay! Hi, Chef Ivory.
Hello. Aloha, Maui. Auntie Taz wanted me to create a signature dish for Urban and Island. Hence, we have the Urban and Island Loco Moco. After speaking with Auntie Taz, we tried to create a dish that speaks to both urban and island with my southern background, but wanted to also showcase one of the brand dishes of Hawaii, which is a Loco Moco. So that's how I came up with this Creole seafood type of Loco Moco. What I present to you today is the Urban and Island Loco Moco. What this consists of is hopper rice, which is jasmine and brown rice, a fried pink snapper, topped with shrimp etouffee. It's a brown, savory southern gravy, an over medium egg with some local green onions topped. Enjoy. the farmer's market behind the movie theater at Kukui Mall. The name of the farmer's market is so long that I cannot remember the name of it. But this is a local guy who makes these seasonings out of paella. So, a lot of the seasonings I use are always local. 80% of what I cook is local ingredients. The produce, the fish. I try to get my beef from Paniolo Cattle Ranch, which is a company on Big Island.
And I see how you're doing the seasoning there. Is that just water in the bottom?
Yeah, it's just excess water from the fish. But it's going to help that my cornmeal flour mix to heat to it.
And what type of fish is this?
This is pink snapper.
Pink snapper. Is this what they call a paka paka?
Yes.
Okay. And did you fillet it yourself or you got it?
No, I got it. The butcher filleted it for me.
You have your own private butcher?
I wish. No, the grocery store are pretty good. I like to go to Eskimo Candy, and they have it. Another place that it's on the phone. They send out a text message every day and tell you their fresh catches. And so,
Eskimo Candy does it?
no, it's another one.
Oh.
It's another company. But Eskimo Candy's right on Lipoa, so I like to go there because it's so convenient for me. So this is the etouffee. It's a brown gravy. It has some shrimp in there.
Ooh.
The Holy Trinity. It starts off with a roux. And yeah, it's just want to keep the same consistency of a Loco Moco with the gravy and have like the brownness to it. It's very savory, has a nice little spice to it. It's gonna be good on top of this fish.
I can't wait to taste it. Oh my gosh. I've never seen that. I'm going to be incorporating adding shrimp to that in my kitchen. Thank you, Chef Ivory.
You're welcome. How do you like your eggs?
I like my eggs scrambled. But Loco Moco I know is usually over easy, so that's why I never eat it.
I mean, you can get it however you want.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, yes, the Moco, because you have the over easy, which creates the Moco as boogers. But I mean, you want it, it depends on however you like your eggs. I'll do mine over medium, and I'll do yours over easy.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do yours scrambled.
Okay. What is the difference between over easy, over medium?
So over easy is a soft egg white and it's a soft yolk. Over medium is a soft yolk and it's like a firmer egg white.
So that means eggs are pretty important. It's 2 weeks of
Yeah.
egg theory.
So many different styles of cooking eggs. The egg, I'm going to use some roasted garlic avocado oil. Avocado oil has a high smoke point, so you don't have to worry about your eggs burning. That softness. Since the stove is so high, I turn off the burner so it'll continue cooking, but it won't overcook. But with the sunny side up egg, you have to break that sack so they can still stay in place, but all of it fully cooks.
I'm loving it.
I have dreams about my dinners the night before.
That's the part of the creative process, though, when you can sit down and close your eyes and literally see the thing that you want.
Yeah.
Clearer you can see it, the easier it is to obtain it.
Yes. So, yes.
And again.
Oh, my nails, I forgot.
You too. You like your island braid style? I do. I love them. Alright. Cooking fish. What is a good way for people to know when the fish is done when you're frying it in this way? Is there like a tip that you could give people to let them know when it's cooked all the way but not too dry?
Yeah, it's just like to tap the middle and see the firmness of it. Like these are almost done. Fish takes like no time. You want to get it to at least an internal temperature of 145.
It looks good. Oh my god. Perfect golden.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. That's good. So the whole thing about rice, like I said, you wash the rice, and then once you fill it up with water, you put your finger in there, and then once the water gets to right here, as your finger is on top of the rice, that's enough water. So once the rice absorbs all that water, it's pretty much done.
Okay.
This is, because it's a white rice, brown rice blend, brown rice takes a little bit longer. You see all the holes in there.
Okay.
Almost done.
Now this is going to be our egg over medium first.
This is the scramble.
Okay.
Nice soft scramble.
Perfect.
This rice is done. We're just gonna plate it up. Our hopper rice.
Hopper rice, brown rice and white rice, correct? Yes. Ooh, smells yummy, Skippies. Oh my gosh, so you're gonna take that and put that gravy on there with that egg? What is there like a huge difference between cooking with like a cast iron skillet versus a different?
Just because it's such a solid bottom that it creates even cooking.
Get those until I just scrap call them scraps. Alright, and what are we adding? The egg. Ooh. That one's for me.
Oh my God. So the flavor is bursting. First of all, what I love, so the eggs are super soft, which is how I love my scrambled eggs. But then this layer with the rice and the crunch on the fish, it's such a urban and island like fusion. This is, I've never had anything like this. I got shrimp, I got snapper, eggs, and the hopper rice. And the this might be halfway gone by the time we get to the food. Oh my gosh, Ivory, this is really good.
Thank you.
Thank you, I feel honored. Yes. So we will definitely have Chef Ivory putting together the menu for Juneteenth 2023. Y'all stay tuned for that. You will be able to attend. It's going to be a free event, but we will have booths out there. Or if you want to purchase some of Chef Ivory's food, you will be able to experience it yourself. So if you're going to be on Maui in June 2023, second and third week, stay tuned. Check out our Facebook, and you can get some of this too. Aloha.
Aloha.
Moco, Louisiana. So I was raised by my grandma, and I've always picked up her cooking habits and her style of cooking. So as a kid, I just enjoyed cooking, watching her cook. But because I was the baby of the family, I wasn't really allowed to cook. So I would wait till she go to church and sneak in the kitchen and pick up the cookbook and start making my own dishes. And it just became this stress mechanism. Like whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, I go cook. No matter what time of my life
higher end resorts and
Never
stuff.
a bad sunset when I cook.
Sure. I know. I love some of these places to stay here, especially in West Maui.
Yes.
And or Wailea, just the ocean view, that sunset, if you're able to see that. And sometimes you can even see whales when it's whale season.
Yes. I had a client who actually could see the luau every night from his lanai.
Perfect. Ooh, I bet y'all want to know where he stays so you can get a free luau. We're not going to tell you, though. We're not going to tell you, though. We're not going to tell you where that is. You have to come to Maui to find out.
Yes.
So you discovered kind of your passion for cooking early, with the cookbooks and everything,
Yes.
as a stress reliever. Was there any other experiences or anything that helped to build your passion with food and or with cooking?
It really was just that stress reliever. I was in retail management. I was running my own store, and one day I was just like having a nervous breakdown. So I was in the kitchen cooking, and it was my breaking point. And I just wanted to fall off the earth. And I decided to just quit my job and go into culinary school.
Wow. How is this, like shortly after high school? Like, how old was you when this happened?
Maybe like 33.
33. Ooh, that's my master number. I love that.
Yeah. It was in that ballpark range in my early 30s. So.
Wow. So I heard you say you're at a retail space having a bad day.
Yeah.
So you go home to cook to help relieve yourself.
Yes.
And it felt so good that you decided you'd rather spend more time doing that than what you were doing with the retail.
It was for my mental health. I had to just change it up.
And then, so after that, you literally kind of jumped off the cliff of no return, meaning you committed yourself to developing and spending more time doing what you want to do.
Before I graduated from culinary school, I already had a job lined up to cook on the ship. So.
Nice. What ship is that?
Pride of America.
Norwegian Cruise Line America? Okay. What years did you work for the ship?
I think I started late 2017.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then ended because of the pandemic. So.
Wow. Yes. So that is so funny. And of course, we've talked about this a little bit while we were doing your hair, right?
Yes.
But as you know, I also came here through Norwegian Cruise Line America exactly 10 years before you, 2007. And the big thing that happened when I worked there was the stock market crash in 2008. So it was another big event that affected our whole financial system and everything, where we got laid off. Because back in 2007, we had the Pride of Hawaii. That was the ship I worked on at first. The Pride of Aloha, which was the older ship. And then the Pride of America, which is the ship you worked on, right?
Yes.
So after the stock market crash, one of the ships, the Pride of Aloha, that was repositioned and sent to Asia.
Yeah.
The Pride of Hawaii, the ship that I was on, we actually sailed from from Honolulu, Pier 2, over to Los Angeles. So we took that ship there. It took 5 days for us to travel there with guests on board. So everybody's still working. I was at the front desk as the reception desk as a purser, but I was also a concierge. So I was the supervisor for all the butlers and all of that, in addition to working the front desk. So that was fun. When we got to LA, 5 days later, all the packs got off the ship, and then they immediately started stripping all the Aloha colors off the outside of the ship. So what's interesting is it's interesting to me. I went, we had the discount where you can go on cruises.
Yes.
So, I had to do that. I went on the Mexican Riviera cruise, and when we got to Cabo San Lucas, which was the second day, I saw the ship, but it was white, and it said Jade on it.
Oh, nice.
And I woke up, I had a...
I have a couple of friends on Jade.
Yeah, I had a porthole cabin, and as soon as I woke up on the second day and looked out, I saw the ship in port, And I got freaked out. I was like, that's our ship. That's our ship. So that's interesting that we both came through the same thing.
It was meant to be.
Right? So before you became a private chef, you did retail. Did you do any other line of work other than retail?
Yes. Before becoming a chef, I've had multiple jobs.
Okay, tell us.
In every field. I've been a junior high school teacher, special needs. I worked in a factory, Frito-Lay factory before.
Ooh.
I think I've done like just about every job just to figure out what I actually like and what I'm great at. So.
That's good. I love that. So you took the time to experience different things before just choosing something.
Yeah, I was a medical assistant once too.
Oh, wow.
Jack of all trades.
I know. That's a pretty colorful background. So medical assistant, Frito. What did you do with Frito-Lay?
Just pack the bags.
Full of chips or whatever. And that's in California? Okay.
It's in Rancho Cucamonga. So
I've heard of that place.
just literally have to grab the bags off the belt and put them in a box.
So that's cool. Okay, so a lot of background. Okay, so what was your transition moment to Maui, getting off the ship? You mentioned the pandemic.
Yes.
Can you describe for us exactly what was going on? Like, take me to, where were you staying? Deck 2, Deck 3?
Deck 2, yeah.
Okay, take me back to Deck 2, the day before you got off the ship because of the pandemic, or even a week before. Had COVID broke out on the ship? And if not, what was going on with the crew members from the crew member perspective on that day? Do you remember the date?
I remember everything
What
exactly.
day? Okay.
So it was it March 13th was our last cruise. One of the guests came up to me. It was their de-embarkation day. So he came up to me, and it's already a cranky Saturday morning. So he's like, well, you know, your ship got shut down. I'm like, thanks for telling me. I wish the captain would, but I was being just sarcastic. So then after all the guests got off board, captain got on the mic and said, we're not taking on any more guests. Cruise is shut down. And we're all just like shocked.
Sure.
Because, I mean, we've seen the numbers declining, because the ship holds a 2,500 capacity, and their numbers got down to 700 people. And we're just excited that we don't have to cook for as many people. But then once he said that the cruise ship got shut down and we're going to be stuck in Oahu for a month, we were excited. Like, yes, we get to party.
Like dry
Oahu.
dock, like Pearl Harbor, or where were you?
Well, not dry dock, just we were in slip 1, and then we moved to, I think, slip 9, the Aloha Towers one.
Wow.
So they told us we were going to be there for a month, and then we'll see how the world progresses.
So what's happening on the ship during this time?
We're just cooking for crew.
Wow.
So at first, it was just party time. We'd work our regular shift, get off the ship, go to all the bars. One of the Holland American ships pulled up and caused an outbreak on our ship. So,
oh no.
So St. Patty's Day, March 17th, we didn't have boat drill because there was no new guests or no new crew members, so no boat drill. So as soon as I didn't hear a siren, I got off the ship, and I had a friend call me like maybe an hour later and tell me, Captain made it official, we can no longer get off the ship. So since I was already off the ship, I could stay off the whole day if I wanted to. But once I get back on the ship, no more. So from that point, we were just stuck on the ship. We all had to move out, and only one person per room. All got COVID tested. If you were positive, they put you like deck 13, deck 14, all the really nice cabins.
Oh yeah, I was saying, that's great.
Yes. That's what you get if you have COVID.
Definitely.
like, man, I want some COVID. I want a grand piano in my room.
Right? Nice bar, nice
Nope,
view.
I had a crew cab.
I wonder if they got to go out to the sun deck too, since you
yeah.
needed sun.
Yeah, only in their lanai, yes.
Wow,
We
that's
could
great.
see them, yeah.
So
we
that's
was
where
like,
we
so-
work. Like the butlers and stuff are
Yeah.
in charge of the upper decks up there in the VIP area. So I know
yeah, they-
exactly what
they
you're
were
talking about.
VIP.
Okay, very cool.
So for that month, the captain started like trying to get us to go home early, take an early bid to go home. The restrictions started getting worse. It went from you could hang out in your rooms, then it went to you cannot hang out in your rooms. We used to could play games in the pool area, and then
fun.
it was like you cannot play games in the pool area. It became just like prison, but well fed.
Well fed. I understand that.
Because we have all the specialty restaurants, so they had to like cook all the food.
Right.
They didn't know how long we were going to be stale, so we had to cook all the food from all the specialty restaurants. We would just come up with different menus every day. It wasn't like regular crew food. We all ate in Aloha. We had to get the temperature measurements before we walk in, after we walk out. It's just like it was just so strict. And then finally they sent us, like me and a couple other guys. We just like, let's go home, guys.
Yeah, right. So they did give you the option.
Yeah, so it was like 6 of us that went home all at the same time. We were just friends. We were all the ones that would eat lunch and dinner together. So we all took the bye and got off at the same time. So yeah, I went back to California for 2 months and still was unsure about the world and what was going on. And I didn't have an apartment because I've been on the cruise ship for the past couple of years. And so when I would go on my vacations, I'll be everywhere. Europe, Virginia, like everywhere. So didn't feel the need to have an apartment. So coming back, I had to find a place to live. I was doing Airbnb, touring out cars, and like spending so much money trying to figure out when I'm going to get back to the ship. So after 2 months, I figured I had to like stabilize myself, and because this wasn't ending. So started looking at apartments for rent, and started looking for apartments for rent in Oahu too. So like the prices were comparable,
Okay.
but Hawaii is paradise.
Yeah.
It's like, it touches my soul. There's something about the water when I go in. I just like, if I'm having a bad day, if I go swimming in the ocean, it just cleanses me. It makes me feel like I'm great.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back to that because in California, like I used to be on antidepressants. So I started feeling that need for antidepressants again. So I'm like, the whole time I've been in Hawaii, I never decided to take a pill. So being in California for 2 months, it just like brought me back to that.
Right. So the environment kind of affected your mental health. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I really feel like it did. It's just like the energy in California was just so negative for me that I had to get away.
The pandemic breaks out. You're in a management position, correct?
Yes.
Tell us about that. What is it like managing hundreds of people at a time during a pandemic when you are all locked on a cruise ship and cannot leave?
It was a bit chaotic just because nobody wanted to be there. There was no real management there, so it was all us being peers, and then they put me in this position. So they're used to me joking, playing around. So one is being a female in the kitchen. Two is being a female in the kitchen with some authority.
Yes.
So it was just like such a struggle to try to get people to do things. But I have a very stern tone that people doesn't mess with me.
Right. Okay. See, that is so amazing. I remember when I worked on the ship, I did not see any. I don't remember seeing any women empowered to be in management. Now that I think about it, I don't think I saw that when I was there in 2007. So good for you. Yes. Okay. So thank you for sharing that about the cruise ship. I'm just curious, how did you get hired for the cruise line? For someone who may be interested in working for the cruise line, what did you have to do to make that happen?
So I initially was applying to be a merchant marine. So there was this quick program that if you graduate culinary school, you could just go into a merchant marine as like a chief cook, which is like the highest cook position on a merchant marine ship.
Nice.
So I graduated from culinary school. I got my merchant marine credential. I got my TWIC card, my passport, and all these little things that they said I needed to get before I could get into this program.
Sure.
So once I collected all of my documents, I went to the guy to present it, and he said they closed the program. And so I would have to go to culinary school all over again through their program and start at the bottom and work my way up to chief cook.
Okay. No.
So
that's not what did you do that?
Basically, yeah. I was like, yeah. So now I have all these documents, merchant marine credential, my TWIC card, passport.
Now, did they pay for the second program, or you had to pay for that?
No, I would have to pay for it.
So you paid for a second program?
Yeah, no, it was like a totally different school. So I went through, I initially went to Los Angeles Trade Tech, and this school was going to be in Maryland.
Okay.
Totally different program. So I would have to like pay for the school that I initially went to, then pay for another school.
Wow.
Which is crazy because I just got out of school.
That's dedication,
yeah,
though.
so to do it all, I did not do it all over again.
Good for you.
I was working in a dine-in theater at the time. So my manager was like, you have these credentials, you have the skill, we need to find you something to do. So he was like online looking for jobs that I could do with those credentials. I was online looking for jobs with those credentials, and then we came across the cruise ship. So we both put our heads together, and it's really cool because you know, you have a good employee, you don't want to lose them, but he also don't want to hold me back either. So
yeah, that's
it's really
amazing.
Great that I appreciate Dom all the time for that. So
shout out to Dom. Thank you for believing in Chef Ivory. You're cool.
So yeah, I ended up applying for the cruise ship, and since I had all the documents, as soon as I graduated from Piney Point, I was on a ship.
Piney Point, Maryland. Hello.
So usually it's like a long process. You apply, you have your interview, you go to Piney Point, you get all your documents set up, and in maybe 2-3 months you get on the ship. But since I had everything, I think I applied for the cruise ship in June. I was on the ship by July.
Wow, that's
Everything happened like so quick.
That was
so
quick.
Yeah.
Because when I applied in March, and I didn't get there till October.
Yeah, and that's like most people. But mine was just like, everything was just so quick that I was like, okay,
Nice.
let's do it.
So you mentioned a TWIC card. For those of you who don't know, a TWIC card is a Transportation Workers Identification Card, and you are required to have that clearance in order to be working in port. So that is something you need to work on a ship. A TWIC card, and in order to get that, it does require a background check, fingerprints, all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in working on the cruise line, just go ahead and get that process started as soon as you can. That's one less thing you have to worry about as a roadblock to prevent you from getting to your job, dream job on the cruise ship, which I recommend to everybody because it's a great place. If you have independent living skills, that's very important. It's a great place to go and learn about hospitality, tourism or the business of travel from the perspective of cruise line travel. And a cruise ship is just a floating resort. It's a big resort on the water. You get to meet a lot of different
Yes.
people, so
From all
that
different
enriches you.
backgrounds.
Yes, and you can really improve yourself and network. It's the biggest thing. There are people that work there from all over the world sometimes, and so I would definitely recommend that. So if someone's interested, Chef Ivory says that it's a good idea to have your credentials in order.
I tell my daughter the same because, like, she's graduating this year. This is her senior year, and she's not exactly certain what she wants to do, but she wants to go to college. So I'm like, well, instead of throwing your money into college right away, join a cruise ship, figure out who you are. You'll be separated from me, you'll be separated from your dad, you'll be with you, learning new people, learning new skills. Like, figure out who you are first. Just take a year, cruise ship, save some money, travel the world, then revisit the idea of college and figuring out what you actually want to do.
Yeah, if you still want, and mind you, your room and board is included. So you can save a lot of money. It's a great opportunity for you to save money. If you happen to be in college first, then you can save money towards any student debt that you may have incurred because you don't have to pay for a $2,000 rent for an apartment on Maui or wherever you are. There's cafeterias on board where you can eat.
Yeah.
You have amazing chefs like Chef Ivory cooking for you. They have different restaurants, all kinds of stuff. You get off the ship in different ports, so you get to see different parts of the world. And we chose to work at the cruise ship here on Maui, but they have international itineraries. So you can go all over. But one thing I do want you to understand is Norwegian Cruise Line America is the only ship that is an American flag ship, which means they honor American labor laws, which means that you get paid for overtime, right? You get paid more than once a month. Usually every other week, or sometimes you may be able to negotiate every week. Benefits, exactly. It's a union job, so you get health coverage and all that kind of stuff. When I worked there, it was 5 weeks vacation for every 20 weeks that you worked on the ship. I don't know if it's still there, but it's really...
It's pretty much the same. For every 5 months you work, you get 5 weeks off. 6 months you work, get 6 weeks off.
So look at that. Look into that. If you're getting ready to graduate from high school, look at that. You don't have to run off to college immediately, especially if it requires you to take out debt. So if you don't have any grants to cover your full ride, consider the cruise ship. Might be a great idea. It's how we both got to Maui from California.
And also the TWIC card is eligible for TSA pre-check, so you don't have to do all those lines.
Okay, I didn't even know that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you get off the ship here on Maui. You get off the ship, you're in California, you decide you don't want to deal with finding a place to stay, and you don't want to deal with that environment because it's not conducive to the best version of you in terms of your mental health.
Yes.
How did you decide that you wanted to live on Maui out of all of the islands that you visited?
So, funny story. I was initially going to Oahu because it's the pandemic time, and I assumed that Oahu would have the most job opportunities. And I have a friend who lives in Oahu, so it made sense to me. So I called him up, let him know I was moving to Oahu, and he told me not to move to Maui because him and his significant other was moving to Maui. So I'm like, okay, and he was like, we could all get a place together. So
nice.
We started looking for places. A lot of places denied us because I was on mainland still. There in Oahu, we're all kind of like on unemployment, so we kept getting denied. So I figured, if I move to Maui and just move in and get some roommates, if I could just find one person that'll let me move in with them, then I'll at least get some residency for Maui, and then we can start looking for places out here. So,
Smart strategy.
yeah, up until him and his significant other decided to stay in Oahu. So, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it works because when I go to Oahu, I don't have to get a hotel room. I can just stay at his house, and when he comes to Maui, he stays at my house. So it works.
Right.
Although, I mean, I would rather us be like, that's my bestie. So
Yeah.
I would rather us share a place together and like enjoy life. But now we have to see each other once in a blue moon. Oh, it is what it is. I give him. I talk a lot about
Yeah,
it,
like,
every now and again, especially when he's like, "Why do you live so far?" I'm like, funny story is.
Right? So that's good though. That shows your resilience and your ability to adapt to rules as they change or
Yes.
adapt to situations as they change.
Yeah.
So now you're here on Maui. You found a place.
Yes.
Your best friends are on Oahu. When did you start your business and when did you start seeing success in business?
So I've been doing jobs on and off from before cruise life, and coming to Maui, I was picking up jobs. I advertise mostly on Thumbtack, which a lot of people don't know about it, but it's
I've
just
never
like,
heard of that.
yeah, it's like it's just a platform where you can hire anybody for any type of event, DJs, caterers, anything. You
Okay.
can find it on Thumbtack.
Okay.
So every now and again, I'll get people who ask me to cook for them, especially in like Kanapali. So I would just do jobs once in a blue moon. Then I was running a restaurant for a while, almost a year, and which was great for me because I was able to meet the local vendors, the reps like Cisco reps, all the Sunfresh and all those, meet those people.
Yes.
Which is people I'm going to have to interact with at some point.
Sure,
anyway.
in
So,
your own business.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's really great that I got that type of exposure. But it became a point that dealing with the whole pandemic and all that, short staffness, that I was putting that business before my own business. So I would have to go into work on my off days, come in late at night, and just have to turn down my own gigs to make sure this business is being taken care of.
Sure.
So it was just getting to a point that I had to make a decision.
And you did, and you chose you and your
Yeah.
business and your passion.
So, and once I made that decision, I put it out there on Facebook and just say, hey, you know, I know everybody knows I run this restaurant, but I'm walking away because I need to pursue me.
Right.
And once I put that message out there, I have a couple of friends who are concierge, and they said they have my back. And so, and they've had my back ever since.
Right.
And they call me, him and his partner, they'll call me, seem like a couple times a week now, giving me new gigs.
That's great.
So it's
So the
really
power of network, right?
Yes.
Because they're in places that you're not, so they
Yeah.
can connect you. Like Urban and Island is all about making the connections, and that's what Miss Ivory is Chef Ivory is describing right now. How important it is to be able to make the connection, especially on an island.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm curious, are there any kind of issues related to your field that you're passionate about in business?
Generally speaking, I mean, like I was saying earlier, being a female in a kitchen is always gonna come with some type of, you need to have a little chutzpah.
Yeah. Chutzpah. What is chutzpah? Wait, what is the language of origin for chutzpah?
But you have to have like a little edge to you to
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
female in the kitchen, because I mean, these guys are gonna try to walk all over you, undermine everything you say, and it's not fair. But now it's like I'm used to it.
Right.
And now I know I could, like, one of the kitchens I work in, all male kitchen, and I went to go help my friend out because she runs the restaurant. So I was like, you know, I'll help you in your kitchen. You're kind of understaffed, no problem. So I got on the line, and one of the guys was like, you need to show the guys how to make poached eggs. Oh, I can. She had to show them how to do hollandaise, like certain things, and they're like, oh, okay. Oh, you guys understand. You guys believe in me. This is so sweet.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, But not every kitchen is like that.
Right.
Some kitchens just like, I had an interview with one chef and he was just like belittling me during the interview.
Oh, no.
And it's just like, what the hell?
Oh,
Like,
later for that guy.
Some things I just don't understand. It's like, we're in an interview and I do have like the force and all that to go past it. But in an interview, at least try to put your good shoes on.
Right. Well, you know what? Interesting enough. What I found here, interviewing as someone coming from the mainland, and what I was told is that when you come from the mainland with the credentials that we have, when we show up, sometimes it could be intimidating, and people may think that you're there for their job.
Oh, yeah.
And so they'll definitely do things to prevent you from either wanting the job or getting the job.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that could be
Well, I get that too.
a part of it. But you persevered through all of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even now I have like a job offer to take over a kitchen, but again, I just stepped down from a high power position so I could focus on my business. Like I have no problem working in a kitchen, helping anybody out, but I just have to put my business first.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm at right now.
So for somebody who might be interested in starting a business as a private chef, what are some tips that you can give them as far as the process of starting a business and the different things that they have to be legally operating their business in the state of Hawaii?
Well, so I have my culinary degree, of course. I have a restaurant management degree and a mathematics degree, but I also have my LLC for my business. So I initially applied for that and got all my taxes taken care of, got my name registered. And like with the Hawaii laws, well, since I do all my work in other people's kitchens, it doesn't affect me as much, but I know like if you work on a food truck or something like that, you have to have a commercial kitchen registered for you.
Sure.
So I do have like a couple of businesses that do vouch for me when I do have to do some prep.
Sure.
So they're registered as my legal commercial kitchen.
Sure.
So that's one of the more important things in Hawaii. That's not a most, like, because in California they have the cottage law so that you could cook food at home and sell it out your kitchen. And that's the cottage law. Hawaii does not have that. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So there's, so Hawaii laws are a bit stricter than other laws. Like,
Sure. So you need to make sure you know the laws,
Yes.
everybody, and there are different resources to find the laws for how to actively run a business that requires cooking. So we are almost out of time. My last question for you, I ask all of my guests, Chef Ivory, is what is the most important lesson you have learned over time spent on Maui? Talk to the camera, let them know.
The most important lesson I've learned is do everything with aloha. It's like one of the biggest things. Like, I mean, everybody says treat others the way you want to be treated, and it's really just that. Out here, again, the atmosphere is so positive, and I mean, there's always going to be some negativity in any place you go, but Maui is 90% positive.
Yes.
And you should just take everything in stride. You don't have to rush to get home.
Right.
Take your time when driving. Everybody's on cruise control. We're on a Hawaii time, and you should just respect the aina and all that. Just live aloha.
I love that. Well, thank you for being on Urban and Island Style today, Chef Ivory. We now have our own signature dish, Urban and Island Loco Moco. If you want to try Chef Ivory's Urban and Island Loco Moco, you can contact her directly. We'll let you know exactly how to do that. This has been another connection between Chef Ivory and I. This has been another teachable moment for anybody who may be interested in the line of work that she's in. Please stay tuned for our next episodes as we continue to highlight and uplift and connect ourselves with transplants to Maui that are doing something different and unique for the island. We'll see you next time. Aloha!